A 13-hour flight from Baku, we arrive in Montreal. For the first time since 2019, it's the Canadian Grand Prix. So Red Bull have won the last 5 races, and in total in 2022, Max Verstappen has won 5, Perez won 1 in Monaco, Leclerc only the 2 winners this year in Bahrain and Australia. It's round 9 of the season here before a 2-week break. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone backs to back with the Austrian Grand Prix at Spielberg, takes us to our second sprint event of the year and the halfway stage. France and Hungary then lead us in back-to-back for the summer break before a triple header, Belgium, Netherlands and Italy through the end of August and the first couple of weeks of September. Then a 2-week break before Singapore and Japan go back-to-back, 2 weeks, United States and Mexico, 2 weeks, Sao Paulo and Abu Dhabi rounds out the season on the 20th of November. In the Drivers' Championship with 5 victories this year, unsurprisingly Max Verstappen leads the way by 21 points to Sergio Perez. Charles Leclerc with double DNF in Spain and then again in Baku as well, was putting 34 points back. George Russell only 51, he's entering the fray. Carlos Sainz to retirement as well for the 3rd time this season in Baku, puts him 5th. Lewis Hamilton 88 points back in 6th. Lando Norris just ahead of Valtteri Bottas by 10 points. Esteban Ocon and now Pierre Gasly breaks into the top 10 for the first time this season. On the second page, Fernando Alonso up to 11th. Kevin Magnussen has dropped down to 12th place. First time he's been at the top 10 all year long. He's equal on points with Daniel Ricciardo. Sebastian Vettel is in 14th place. Yuki Tsunoda in 15th. Alex Lynn and Lance Stroll as well as Zhou Guanyu still on the points early stages of the season. No points though for Mick Schumacher, Nico Hülkenberg or still Nicholas Latifi. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way now by 80 points to Scuderia Ferrari. Mercedes are in 3rd on 118 points back, so 161. Then it's McLaren versus Alpine for 4th. Alfa Romeo joining in the fight as well, so are AlphaTauri, who are still on 27 points. Haas, Aston Martin level on points. Williams in 10th on 3 points. It's the final practice session for the Canadian Grand Prix at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Let's take a look around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. A 2.7-mile circuit, 14 turns in total. A real challenge for the drivers in both wet and dry conditions. After 2 years away, it really is a fan favourite. Starting the lap through the last chicane, getting close to the World Champions. Open up the DRS and hurtle down towards turn 1. Top speed and over 8th gear as well. 280 odd kilometres an hour. Back onto the brakes into turn 1 and 2. 4th gear down to 2nd gear. 85 kilometres an hour through turn 2. 3 and 4 chicane as well. 4th gear about 190 kilometres an hour. You want to be taking through there. It drops downhill before you go around the casino at 5. 6 and 7 a quick flick as well. 3rd gear. Then on the exit, accelerate up. 4th gear, 185 kilometres an hour. Back on the power, open up the DRS once again. Reaching over 8th gear, 305 kilometres an hour. Slap on the brakes at turn 8 and 9 as well. 4th gear, 135 kilometres an hour. Build back up again towards the hairpin. 8th gear, 300 kilometres an hour maximum before you'll hit the brakes hard all the way down. 2nd gear, 80 kilometres an hour. Be careful not to lock up the rear tyres and have a spin around. Little kick here, that's turn 11. Little kick on the back straight, that's turn 12, where the 3rd DRS zone is as well. Back down towards the chicane and the Wall of Champions. 330 kilometres an hour, 8th gear. Slam on the brakes. Make sure you get into turn 13, 14 safely. 4th gear. Avoid the Wall of Champions in the exit. Then keep the car towards the right of the screen to get to the line first. And that is the lap of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's time for a very wet, a very cold and very windy Canadian Grand Prix Saturday afternoon. It is free practice 3 on the Ile Notre Dame, a man-made island surrounded by the St. Lawrence Seaway on the Ile Notre Dame. I'll tell you one thing though, we may as well be underwater at the moment as well. It's a 2.71 mile circuit as well, 70 laps, 3 sectors, all high speed, separated by some low speed chicanes. a dramatic test of skill as well to keep it out of the barrier in wet weather. And as they see on the board as well, they are the tyre compounds Pirelli have chosen. Red C5, medium is C4, hard C3, but we're going to need the green Inter and the blue full wet weather tyre in operation as well. I wouldn't like to be out there on the St. Lawrence Seaway right about now as well. It'd be very choppy out there. There's Montreal, the city. We're in the middle, as I said, of the St. Lawrence Seaway on the Ile Notre Dame Island. 1967 World Expo is when it was built for as well. You can just see at the bottom if you're watching along with us, the casino. That is a main part of this fantastic facility. Air temperature 11 degrees, track temperature 16, 83% humidity, changed dramatically compared to what we saw yesterday. And alongside me in the commentary box is Synthel. Synthel, we're in for the unknown once again. What's the track going to be like with these cars? A wet qualifying later. It's all to play for in 2022 in Canada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello. Absolutely, it's going to be an interesting practice session for sure, as it'll be their only practice session in the wet, as they head into qualifying later on, which will be, it's predicted to be wet as well. The rain tomorrow, though, is dry, so they've had a lot of practice already. I think they've been out on track most of the sessions already in FP1 and FP2 yesterday.
Yep, that was perfectly dry.
And now for the rain for this day and later on for qualifying as well. Let's see what they can do.
So weather forecast as well, one around the area and one on the circuit itself as well. We're being shown is just a blue dot as well. So the rain is still there as well. Let's go over quickly then to the YouTube chat. Hello to Gwen Wynn, who says, hello, Americans racing. Racing sucks for me as well. Is that America's racing suck for me? Well, we're in Canada, so it's just the north as well. Is that because you're in Australia, so the time zones really mess you around? Dedication, if you're up and watching us over there in Australia as well, die-hard Formula One fans, it's just coming up at 6 o'clock here in the UK. For Synthol, we're here in Europe as well. It's coming up at 7 p.m. So a lot of action coming up. Have you already had your tea for this evening, Synth?
Sorry?
Have you already had your tea for this evening?
The tea? Sorry.
Oh, so your food, your dinner time. I don't know what it would be. Tea is a very British expression.
Yeah, I already have. Indeed. Yeah, also funny with these times. You know, yesterday FP2 ended today.
Yes.
Obviously, 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. here in the Netherlands. So that was quite funny, of course. But yeah, now we're gonna head into FP3. So nothing from race control yet.
Oh, looking good.
Just risk of rain is 100%. So nothing that it will be cancelled or anything. So yeah, now they won't say it will be delayed. So we'll have a start for sure.
Yeah, that's the best news possible, as well as also being given the information as well with this one as the rain still coming down. Yes, from Australia. And how about that Melbourne Grand Prix till 2035? Absolutely. And F2 and F3 getting thrown involved as well is going to be amazing to commentate on that. It's going to be longer nights for me and for you as well. But with F3 and F2 coming on, but I think that's going to be another great battle as well. Albert Park, or yay, proper racetrack. I like Albert Park. He gave us some good racing before as well. Okay. Green light has gone on at the end of the pit lane. And let's hear quickly from Franz Tost.
Show how good he is. And I hope that we will provide him with a competitive car for the rest of the season, because Pierre has the ability to be in front. And it's just in the hands of the team to give him a really good competitive car.
What about his future with the team?
He will be driver of us, of Scuderia Alpha Tauri in 2023.
Is that confirmed?
This is the 100% confirmed.
Wow, so that was in a press conference just a few moments ago. Official news has actually broken. Pierre Gasly will be driving for Alpha Tauri in 2023. That's the first bit of breaking news we've had of the season, so he's locked down. Do you think that's a good decision, Synthol, for Pierre, or should he have looked around at another team? I suppose there wasn't really much available there as to who's actually competitive at the moment.
Yeah, maybe McLaren, but otherwise there wasn't really any team where you could have gone to. And AlphaTauri still suits him well, I think.
That was Magnussen complaining about the weather. It's very much a lot of spray out there right now as we're seeing Zhou Guan Yu heading around. Back to you, Synth.
Yeah, so I think AlphaTauri was the only decision indeed for them if McLaren already found someone else. But yeah, obviously Gasly wants to be in a competitive car, but there's just no room for now.
Yeah, sadly there isn't any room as Zhou's propulsing and bouncing around as he comes into turn 8 and 9. Chicane as well at the back half of this track before the hairpin at turn 10. A lot of spray in the air. Wet weather tyres are in operation for everybody at the moment as well, which is only correct. Graham Hill says, of course, could be last hurrah for Latifi. Yeah, the rumour is Latifi's going to get replaced even before the end of the season by Oscar Piastri. There's been a lot of rumours generating in the middle this weekend. Do you reckon Oscar Piastri would replace him mid-season, or do you reckon he'll wait until next year?
I don't think... I think Latifi said himself as well that he was sure he was going to finish this season. So I'm just going to believe him for that. And I think, that'll surely be replaced next season. But for this season, I think he'll finish the end.
Yeah, I agree. No point changing him mid-season as well. That's throwing Oscar in at the deep end as well. Kevin Magnussen, 1:51.362. Is the fastest time as we ride on board with him, gingerly going around. Qualifying is going to be fun later on as well.
It's just really a tricky track in the wet, for sure. You need to be very cautious with the throttle through corners like these, because it's a lot of turning and slowly need to put the power down, and especially in the wet, of course.
Myself and Josh Players will be on the call for qualifying later on. Are you around, Synthel? You usually watch it with the Radio Road Live, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be watching with the Dutch commentary. It's on right now as well, to be honest, as you can hear.
Always on the background. Always nice to hear from Olav as well. I think he's trackside this weekend as well, isn't he, in Canada? Not too sure about that one.
I have some really high relocking. Can you check that? Okay, understood.
That's Schumacher on the radio. Just trying to hear if Ted's in the pits, actually. But I don't think he is, so no Ted in the pit lane. Let's hear from Schumacher.
The conditions are quite bad here, to be honest. Okay.
Whoa, and Leclerc nearly went in the wall. Do you see that as well? A lot of twitch. I only saw it through the spray, so no worries if you did. He nearly hit the wall. Very surprised if they wouldn't throw the red flag, to be fair. If the drivers are complaining, of course. No, the problem is, it's dry at this half, but the spray in some sections as well, it's hard to see at this part. It bills off the side of the track, doesn't it?
But when can you drive in a wet stand? Because there'll always be a spray, of course.
Yeah. How if they throw it, is it for safety? Or we're just never going to race in the rain anymore? They did it in Monaco as well.
I think the measurement should be when it's there. When there will be on the straight, you can't go full throttle because of aquaplaning. Then it should be
yellow.
Sorry,
Cross got a yellow. Sector 4 gone green now. I think it was Magnussen as Schumacher's having a moment.
Yeah,
nice save.
Very easy to do. This is the corner what I said before as well.
Yes.
This is really tricky. Is it Sainz? We see him right here. Not sure what caused the yellow flag.
Can't tell through. I think you're right. Yes, it is Carlos Sainz. Good call. Through the spray, you can't tell here on the pictures. So yeah, Carlos Sainz going around. It's incredibly wet at the hairpin. There's a lot of standing water between the turn 6 and 7, and that back straightaway where Magnus is now on the driver tracker. It's not so bad, but this last sector is impossible as we ride with Sainz. I mean, that's good visibility actually, but if you're the car behind, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, was it Hamilton in 2016 who just aquaplaned off there in the hairpin?
Yeah, just went straight on, didn't he, in that wet practice?
That's enough for a red flag for sure.
Yes. Well, they were aquaplaning off the track this morning in the Formula Ford practice session for their qualifying. So much so that the practice got cancelled and they ran qualifying later on. I think there was a total of 7 red flags in that Formula Ford that happened a while ago in their session because everyone was just drifting off. But Formula 1 cars have got bigger tyres and much more downforce. They should be able to clear the track. I think that's what they're doing, you know. The rain's still coming down, but if they red flag this practice, then qualifying surely can't go ahead because if they've got to get this one done because the weather's not going to change going into qualifying. So, but qualifying, we're going to see people pushing and going into the walls. So, it's going to be hilarious.
It looks fine, to be honest. It's really it's obviously a bit difficult to see, but it's not heavy, raining that heavy, that's for sure. But the track is still wet, but it still looks okay. Not really much aquaplaning. I think they'll just dry it up by just driving laps.
Everything looks fine
that's
for
how
me.
you dry it
So
up.
Lance, we're good to go. So go 3, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I think it would be good. Let's have a look. Michael says, at least Latifi will get one more home Grand Prix. Yeah, he would be unfair to Latifi. I mean, Piastri, Oscar Piastri, yeah. Just driving the Williams, Josh. Williams car ain't much. Yeah, I'll do. I'll go in the Williams. That'll be good. As it comes through here in Montreal. It's that last sector as well, coming into the chicane bus stop. And yeah, Sainz comes straight to the pit lane. He was fast in sector 2, but he doesn't want to risk it, I presume, as well. But as they come through,
You see the Vries in Formula 1 next year?
yes, I do, but I don't think it would. I can see him in Williams, but if Oscar Piastri is getting it, then no.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd replace Piastri with Schumacher. So the other way, Schumacher gets replaced by Piastri, and Latifi gets replaced by De Vries as Sainz has a big snap in that 8-9 chicane. And that's the problem. If that happens at higher speed on a qualifying run, it's going to be into the wall.
Yeah. It's practice, of course. I mean, you can always see mistakes happen. Even in a race, it's a lot more tricky. They're just trying to find the limits now for qualifying later on.
This is what caused the yellow with Magnussen doing what?
Oh, you don't want to be on
Vettel
the grass?
Yeah. Vettel did that back in 2019 as well, and it's wet grass as well. So, geez, that's a lot. That's a lot bouncing there.
To be honest, I expected maybe some puddles, some big puddles in there, but it was okay.
Nicholas Latifi, sorry, not Nicholas, Charles Leclerc, by the way, has been confirmed as at least having a 10-place grid penalty for a change of turbocharger. So it is now a new unit for Leclerc as
so
Vettel
Lance has got
is
an
struggling.
issue ahead. He's going very slowly. Entry to turn 10. Just a bit of caution.
Sorry.
He knows you're there.
That's Vettel's radio. It's Stroll going slow.
Limpo mode. Okay, Lance, we need to box.
Looks like Sebastian's helmet, but Vettel was on the radio, and that was Sainz. That was Stroll on the radio. The Aston's going to limp home mode for the Canadian Lance Stroll, and he was coming into the pits, but he's gone through. What's he done? He's gone through, not into the pits, and that is well, can you see what's happening out there? Because I can't. Big wall of spray. So there it goes.
This is the spray.
And I think
nothing to see.
I think Stroll's got it going, actually. Doesn't that look like Sebastian Vettel, though? Both the Astons...
I thought it was
both the Astons have got white helmets this weekend. Stroll for Canada as well. Confirmation, a further grid penalty for Charles Leclerc as he's taken a new power unit. He will now start from the back of the grid. So that it's breaking news. Charles Leclerc will start from the back of the grid as well. A new turbo...
I'm in limpo mode. Okay, Lance, we need to box.
Yeah, it's a new turbo, MGUK, MGUH and engine for Charles Leclerc. So he is starting the race from the back of the grid. That's a big boost for Red Bull in the World Championships. Wow.
Right decision, and to be honest, if they already want to go for the 10-place grid penalty. They now changed everything they were on the limit of, right?
Let's go on to Ted.
Hello, Rachel. Hello, Jensen. Hello, Karun.
Oh, you sound so happy.
It's pouring with rain. I've had to dump the shorts. I'm wet through, and I love it because these are the conditions where we have some fun, isn't it? These are the conditions where we see bravery, where we see skill, where we see some daring do from the drivers, keeping it out of the wall, some of them crashing. It's always good fun to have a crash, isn't it, round here? And we get to see some mixed up grids, and that's certainly what we're going to get when we go into qualifying.
You go to go one, and we're happy.
Particularly fully in time for qualifying. This does feel like it's sort of set in for the next 2 hours.
2 seconds, Ted.
Is that a team radio?
Yeah, that was just Yuki. I didn't catch quite what he said, but he went off, and but he's back on. Keep going.
All right. I normally hear some beeps, and I haven't heard some beeps recently, so I don't know whether it's going to come in or not. But and we're going to see a mixed-up grid, which is always great for what you were just saying, Rach, is a potentially dry Canadian Grand Prix. But down here at Mercedes, well, I've seldom known the team so low. The last race ends with the boss calling the car a bleep box. Lewis Hamilton starts an interview with an off-camera moment yesterday saying, I've never known it so bad. And that reflects on everybody, doesn't it? It reflects on every person in this garage and in the team back at Brackley and in the engine department at Brixworth. So they're on the bottom. They're on the bottom rung of everything, and they need to build themselves back up. So, yeah, interesting to see how they do that.
I think he said it's the worst he's ever had driving a car around here, the worst car he's ever had to drive around here for him.
Wow.
Yeah. But all working very, very hard to try and fix this at the moment, Karun.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Hamilton on his problems then with his wing, his floor, I should say. The car saying it was the worst he's ever tried. Synthel as well. Do you reckon Mercedes is now... Do you reckon they'll win at least one race this year, or is it out?
Well, it's really a difficult one, but now with probably some new rules coming for the porpoising, there will have another setback probably. So it's really difficult as Vettel's sliding around. I reckon the dude will win one race at least.
Vettel.
Look at that.
Vettel sideways coming into turn 6, and he's sideways at the exit as well. That car is just glitching. It looks like, honestly, it's like a glitch to keeping it in. He's making my heart go as well as he comes back down. Go on.
What I was saying on Leclerc, so they had many things on the car which was, if they replaced it one more time, they would have a penalty, right?
Yes. So
they now just changed it all. So for next time they'll have a less big of a penalty.
Yeah.
I think they just did the right thing, to be honest.
Oh, I agree. They've done the correct right thing. As Gwentwyn also asks, if something incredible happens, like the whole Grand Prix gets cancelled because of wild weather, does Leclerc still serve his 10-place grid penalty? Yes, he does, because the grid penalty is is from when the official starting grid is published, not when the lights go out on the race. So you may remember last year in Spa, drivers had grid penalties in that race. The race officially started when the formation laps began, not that after the 4-hour wait. So as soon as the official starting grid is published, Leclerc has served his penalty, not whether or not the race happens or not as well. So hopefully that helps you. Let's hear from Lando.
Happy to stay out and let's continue. Vettel is in turn 7. We see there's no...
Ted?
It's exactly the same rain intensity as the Formula One engineers would say on the radio. Wasn't it Will Wizzle Joseph, Lando's engineer, who said to him, it's Lando, rain intensity 3, rain intensity 3. So I'd say it's still about rain intensity 3, which means solidly raining. You'd really want an umbrella if you were allowed one, and we're not allowed one in the pits. Enough to soak you to the bone. So
Is that out of 5,
that was
Ted?
optimistic. Yes, 3 out of 5.
Good.
Yes.
Just checking.
One being a light drizzle.
Right.
2 being I think it's raining. 3 being I need my coat. 4 being I'm not staying out here.
Need a boat.
And 5 being basically what we've had at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. yesterday and the day before. Yeah.
And coincidentally enough, Cynthia, exactly what is predicted at the time of qualifying now as well, with more heavier rain incoming. So we could have a washout or a delay for an hour. So that's going to be fun.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not as well. Myself and Josh Players on commentary for that one, as well as Ian Burge, I think, is joining us for the race tomorrow, but not for qualifying this evening, as well as Megan takes her weekend off from calling as well after Le Mans. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about with the spray at the back straightaway. You can't see anything after Ricciardo. Zhou's behind him, but I didn't know that because of the driver tracker. You can't tell.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's really you can't see anything, and especially if you're the driver behind, it's going to be really difficult. So luckily for them, the race will be dry, because that's where you especially need the vision. Oh, who's sliding to turn 2?
Ricciardo, yeah. Blind.
Yeah, there was an entry. That's
They're all
weird
giving,
moment, maybe too much to the puddles. But yeah, what we just saw Norris see when we heard that onto the curbs.
Yes.
We've seen, especially him, I feel like, doing that a lot in the rain. It's like karting, it really gains you time on the curbs in the rain. So, that's something fun to see again. And yeah, I feel like we see especially Norris do that.
Do you want to hear from that radio again? I can play it. Here we go. Let's hear from Lando.
I'm continuing, correct. If you're happy to stay out, then let's continue. Vettel is in turn 7. We see there's no grip, so just no risk. Just want to understand about the tyres.
So that's the only reason McLaren are out there, to understand the tyres. They don't want to do anything that might jeopardise the car itself, as well as Ricciardo now. The rain is staying the same, but the spray is getting a little bit worse out there. Still full wet weathers. The blues, as Ricciardo sliding out of turn 10 hairpin now, as down in turn 11, kicking it out. It's not as bad as 2011 just yet, Sint, but It's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah. Race control is going crazy, by the way. It's
Yes.
just constantly like Magnussen gone off and continued. Sainz missed the apex. Schumacher's, everyone gone off and continued. But yeah, many cars just missing the apex a little bit. Ricciardo drifting through the final corner now.
Oh, he nearly ended up in the champions wall as Ricciardo goes 5th, 142.691. We're not reading out the times because they're a bit irrelevant, really. But it's Vettel from Magnussen, Tsunoda, the top 3. Then we've got Stroll, Bottas, Zhou, and Ricciardo setting complete lap times. Norris, Schumacher, Leclerc as well. Sainz, Hamilton, and Perez, the last ones who've been out of the track. Everyone from Verstappen down has not gone out there. Tsunoda top, 138.262. If I was Max Verstappen, I'd consider going out there because you'll need to know what the weather's like. As we've got a yellow sector 1.
Nice and easy. Data collection once passed.
I think it's Stroll. Green flag now, so it was sector 1 and Stroll was down there. So if it's not him, it was Tsunoda. So it's one of those two. Yeah, Tsunoda off track and continued at turn 1 as Perez got out. So Red Bull have sent Perez out as their guinea pig for the weather conditions, it looks like, here in Montreal.
So yeah, I don't know why. If it's this wet as well for the qualifying, I wouldn't know why they would wait. Oh, look at that, sliding around, really trying to find the limit. They do a good job to keep it on track. I mean, keep it on track. We've seen many cars going off already, but at least they didn't spin or anything that close to the wall. Or we saw the yellow flag. I think that was just Vettel going off straight on, so nothing like a spin or anything.
Perez,
you can see him.
He's so ginger on the throttle, isn't he? 3rd gear.
Yeah.
That's a 5th gear corner on full throttle. He's just come through.
There he goes.
Yeah.
So a few people have gone off at turn 1. Nice and careful through turn 1 too.
That is Perez on the radio we just heard.
Yeah, only after the curb he goes full throttle. So that's crazy how long it takes for him.
Oh, big twitch. Out of turn 8 and 9. And he saved that well. There's a lot of standing water at the exit of the corners. That's what I'm noticing out there as well. And there's big puddles, like especially out of the hairpin here. And it's not creating any dry line. The constant rain's affecting everything as there's a load of puddles. Does he get kicked up with that? No. Heads down the back straight away. DRS, of course, disabled in this session with the rain. If you're just joining us for the first time.
Yeah, 3 DRS zones, but none will be used now.
And Perez,
he's going to go in the pits.
Wise, I think, straight in there as he comes in. So a few of them are out there, but they've all sort of said, no, that's it, not going to do anything else. Ricciardo, Zhou, Bottas.
Daniel, from the engineering side, we've got what we need.
Yeah. So I was about to say they're calling
up to you.
in.
If you're learning, you can stay out.
Okay, I'll complete this lap.
Yeah, I was about to say Ricciardo's crawling in. His sector times are too slow. So is Zhou and Bottas. They're here with they are now. Look, coming through the chicanes. The driver tracker showing you them the same time as we're on as they head down the back straight. So it's Ricciardo just ahead of him. Zhou might complete his lap time, actually. Ricciardo's going to box and does so. And Zhou continues on through the chicane. Bottas is just behind him at the moment as we lost TV pictures. As we've got ad break. So I presume you still got them on synth.
I'll get them ready now.
Yeah, thank goodness for... I can see the pit lane channel as well on mine. Wish we had the world feed. The pit lane channel has actually changed a lot compared to it, and I was hoping it didn't, but hey-ho, it's a shame. As the cars are still circulating out there at the moment. Authorised login, please. Oh, that's typical of Sky to come in. While we hear that, let's hear from...
Yellow.
Yes. Again. Sector 1 was a brief yellow, and that
Probably
would have been...
Stroll going off in turn 1.
Yeah, because he's slow down there, isn't he? So I'd stay there as they come through. I keep forgetting I've now got a Sky account. Keep going to the Virgin Media login.
Right, they're actually on board with Stroll now. This obviously has a big delay, so... Going to go off. Oh, no, it's Tsunoda. It was Tsunoda who was gone.
So, Canadian Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc is to start from the back of the grid, and it was Tsunoda off at turn 1. We're being told as well. So, thumbs up there as they come through. I think I just said my Discord go off. If so, I believe that would be Josh sending me a message. Oh, no, it's not Josh. It's the Hunter Birch simulation team as the Petit Le Mans is going off. You can see something I can't. Go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Copy. Box now. Be careful, the pit lane should be wetter than the track. Pit lane is wetter.
Okay, back
Yeah,
to you.
he locked up.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now on the world feed as well. As they come through, just a lock up straight on. I'm seeing it in the replay now for Sonoda.
Yeah, he said easy to lock up on the left front.
He's got some radio as well.
Yeah.
Easy to lock up, I suppose he just said as well.
Yeah, on the front left, I think he said. Because he had a big lockup.
Yeah.
And he just went straight on there in turn 1. So it's not everywhere where you can see a yellow flag if they go off track, but in turn 1 they do. So that's what most yellow flags, or all yellow flags, are caused so far. Someone going off in turn 1.
Lance Stroll was jumping over the curbs as well, coming through. Mick Schumacher just watching on there, getting ready, probably to head out on the circuit for a little bit. Needs to get a run. Haas just working on his car down in the pit lane as well. As Sonoda is third still, and he was top, but it's Bottas now on a 1:37.909, as you can see on the screens. Stroll second, and Ferrari getting ready to go out with, is that Charles Leclerc? Yes, it is. Charles Leclerc.
Sainz already out.
Yeah, Sainz is already on the circuit as well. Let's go over to the YouTube chat quickly as well. I'm sat down at the moment, so hello. So I'm going to have to end, sort of, just ignore me, sat down. Gwynman asks, how long till Daniel's contract expired? Am I crazy to think I could see him doing top 15 to 20 car just staying in F1? I mean, the option for him is NASCAR. Is that for Daniel Ricciardo? He's got a contract to the end of next year, and that's where he thinks he's staying for a while. Do you reckon he'll stay Synthol at McLaren? I can't see him
so as many burnouts as possible.
That's Leclerc again. Do you reckon he'll stay there at McLaren for this season and next?
Next season, I don't think so, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Leave Formula 1 completely, or?
Well, I don't think he really has a choice, to be honest.
Oh,
I think he's going to be blown out
removed
by McLaren, and he won't be able to go anywhere else. So, yeah, then he'll be out of Formula 1, I'm afraid.
Brave call. I would have said he might at least have another run, but still. Back with it. We've got TV pictures now. You can see it, can't you?
Yeah.
Good. Sainz on the back half of the track then as well. With the run down towards 13-14 chicane. A lot of spray being kicked up behind. This is looking fantastic as they accelerate to the line. Sainz's time should go top and does. 1:36.831, a second clear of Bottas. As now the drivers start to get up to speed with these wet weather tyres. And it's Formula 1 cars in the wet. We don't get to see that often, do we?
No, especially as being cancelled sometimes already.
Yes.
They are very cautious in the rain, for sure, the race directors. As we see him a little bit on the curb, not that much, maybe a bit sliding, through the final corner. And now Leclerc on the track as well. So I hope we're going to see some sort of quali runs-ish this practice session as well, because we'll have the quali in the rain. I mean, for the race, this session won't be relevant at all, because the race will be dry.
I feel sorry for all those team personnel there having to stand out in the cold. It is cold out there. Air temperature is only 11 degrees. Track temperature 16 compared to yesterday, where it was nearly 30 degrees as well. So it is cold out there in Montreal. Not quite as cold as it can get in Canada, though, at this point, but it's pretty chilly. So the air cottons, I was told actually by some of the media there as well that the media centre has gone from blowing cold air yesterday to blowing heat in today. So the aircon has changed to a heater, it seems, out there on the circuit. As Sainz is improving again. Synth as well, fastest in the two sectors so far.
Yeah, crazy we haven't seen any red flags so far.
Yeah.
Also with FP1 and FP2.
He nearly cursed it there. Sainz nearly win the World Champions as he comes across the line. 1:35.858. Yeah, no red flags at the moment. 2 seconds that fast now on those wet tyres. We can push now. We can push. Ted's at the Haas garage, though.
Magnussen for us, Ted.
Well, Magnussen isn't in the car. He doesn't really fancy this. Actually, he's just, you know what? He is. He's just gone in. So he's sitting there, but doesn't look like he's going out. It was Mick Schumacher, Rachel, who was trying to get in his car. And then they discovered something that they needed to take the seat out for. So he was actually out again, talking to Gary Cannon, his engineer. And now they fixed whatever it was that was loose around the bottom of the cockpit, put the seat back in, and Mick is settling himself in. But you've got to say, a day like this is an opportunity for Mick Schumacher, an opportunity for mistakes, certainly, but an opportunity for good results and for points. And that's something that Haas are going to be aiming for, that relationship that he's got with Gary Gannon. Did I call him Mick Gannon earlier?
You did, yes.
Sorry, I meant Mick
That's
and
right.
Gary Gannon. Don't know who Mick Gannon is, if anyone knows. Hello to him. But Gary Gannon is such a great engineer. I don't know if anyone ever listens to some of the radio messages during the race or after it on any of the Red Button channels or our digital channels. But they get on so well. He's such a sort of calm, reassuring presence for young Mick Schumacher. It's a great relationship they've got, and hopefully it will yield something today. Mick's got some very good galoshes, I think we can call them, Rach. He's been
boots.
standing around, little welly boots, yes. Branded Sparko welly boots. 3 words I didn't think I was going to say today. And he's been going around the wet conditions, so he doesn't have to have wet soles of his driving boots when he gets in the car. Gents, is that really a thing? Can your feet really slip off the pedals if you've been walking around in the rain?
Well, if you've got wet feet,
Yeah.
but you do have grip tape on the pedals. And also you have sides to the pedals, so your foot can't slip off left or right. But he'll be taking his shoes, those wellies off when he gets in the car. Yeah,
Sparko welly boots.
Yeah, I didn't have anything fancy like that. I usually should wear my trainers until I got in, and then put my race boots on.
Thank you, Ted. We do see actually as a driver.
Thanks, Ted. And I never knew that actually. That they wore different types of tape on and they've got little guiders on the pedals. Actually, I didn't. The last pedal I saw was what car was it? 2009 car, I think. They didn't have that on there. So modern tech, hey, with little guiders on the side. I suppose it's good. No, actually, the last car I saw was inside of Magnussen's, wasn't it, back in 2019? And in the house, when they put a car in, where they put a camera on the inside, and they didn't have that. So McLaren have obviously got more tricks up their sleeve, not just like the third pedal. Alonso struggling out there. Nearly hit the wall, actually, again. Go on, go on.
Now it says Ocon gone off in turn 1 as well. But now we didn't see a yellow flag. So when is a yellow flag and when is there not a yellow flag?
That was just a minute ago. So we haven't seen a yellow. And it would have come off.
But I suppose it was for the same reason as we saw like Tsunoda before, which did cause a yellow flag.
Are we going to see a replay? No, they thought about it, but they didn't show one. Max Verstappen is getting into the car in the last half hour of this practice session here. Albon is 12th on a 142.180. And this is actually good for Formula One. We've got a prime time in Europe as well.
It's amazing how the Ferraris can just turn on the tyres on an outlet.
Albon's would make a good journalist, actually, critiquing what's happening out there, because Sainz has turned on the tyres and he's gone 2 seconds faster than anyone else. Here's the Ocon incident, Synthel.
Yeah, so from right he locked up. So yeah, gone straight on here. Same as I think Tsunoda did. So yeah, this didn't cause the yellow flag. Maybe he gone off a little quicker. This is Albon locking up both front wheels and going off.
Did he go to the bollard? Yes, he did. It was a £5,000 fine yesterday for those not doing it, as Aston Martin got a $5,000 fine as well for what happened in... Latifi getting it all out of shape again. It's dangerous out there, but these are the best drivers in the world. They should be able to handle it with ease.
Yeah, they're doing a good job so far to keep it out of the wall. But it's obviously very tricky conditions, so they're really struggling.
Yeah, the track is fine, just wet. Just leave me to it. Minimal calms if we can.
That's the Latifi saying track is fine compared to him, so if he's happy, I don't know if Ocon is.
First one saying the track is fine.
Latifi said it.
Yeah. So first one saying it's not incredibly wet and stuff. So, but Ocon again gone off. Was turn 1 a lap ago, and now he's gone off at turn 8 and 9. I think it is the chicane there.
Yeah, as Oh, apparently tweet's been deleted from that event, Jordan. Anyway, so I was just trying to find out because we just got information more about Leclerc and his grid penalty. And what is it? FIA, here it is. FIA as well are holding a meeting with the team principals after qualifying to continue what they were discussing this morning. It's a regular meet-up in the mornings between everybody, but they couldn't finish it this morning due to the rain. Okay.
What do you mean, Ricky? Straight?
So go flat in the straight if you can for engine mode test.
We've got to listen now to Christian Horner talking to Rachel Brooks in the commentary box.
You live in hope that it's going to improve a little, but I think it's certainly going to be wet, but maybe not quite the intensity we've had certainly in the first half of this session. So yeah, we'll see how it unfolds.
Christian Jensen. Oh, sorry. So in these conditions it's tricky, right? Because you want to have a setup for the race, so you want your low downforce setup that seems to work so well for you guys. But you also want to get the tyres working, so it's a real compromise downforce levels, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the main focus is on tomorrow because that's where the points are. But you've still got to have a car that's drivable in these conditions. So it's just the drivers just having getting their eye in these conditions where the grip is and so on. So. Checo feels that he's had a good look and he's reasonably comfortable. Max will go out shortly and just have a little look.
Christian, the last forecast we saw for tomorrow is that it looks like it's going to be a dry race. So how are your engineers and drivers working around the compromise between what you've got today and obviously, where the points are tomorrow?
Well, as you say, tomorrow's forecast all points towards a dry race. So generally when that's the case, you don't take too many compromises. It's not like you go for a full wet setup, with these cars. So, obviously there's bits and pieces that you can do, with the tires and pressures and bits and pieces like that. But it's mainly about, usually if you've got a balance in the dry, it tends to work, in the wet as well.
Thank you very much for the moment, Christian.
Christian Horner down there then as more lockups sent through as well.
This was a big drift from Albon. We're going to see that now, I think. Oh, no, we won't. But it was a really big, good save as well. We looked on board a minute ago. And this is Gasly, going on the grass as well, locking up at turn 3.
A lot of problems.
Lucky there's not a lot of puddles in there.
Yeah, a lot of issues out there as well. And if you're wondering, by the way, why Karun Chanok sounds different as well, he is in the back, literally, of the Sky Sports studio for Soccer Saturday here in the UK, as it's not being used. But he's not commentating with the headset. He's commentating with a pair of headphones on and a tie mic. So one of those tiny little microphones he's got there as well. Otherwise, that's why he sounds slightly different compared to that of Sky F1, if you were interested. I know everybody always goes at me for mic talking and all that. And it always is a lot of good fun as well out there as well. Looks absolutely horrific right now. The amount of water that's dripping off into the pit lane. It is a lot wetter there than the rest of the track. It hasn't stopped, has it? It's still raining compared to what it was to start the session about 35 minutes ago. So it's going to stop. It's not going to stop for quali, as you say. So we're in for a right one later.
Going to be very interesting indeed. So for me, it said it might stop somewhere around quali, but apparently it will still be very wet for sure, as there are a bit more cars on track now. It's a little bit more busy. Also, Max Verstappen on track now, finally.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be interesting quali for sure.
Everybody has now at least done one lap. As you say, now Verstappen was the last one to do so. He's just heading out there now. But here is the world champion from 2021, the reigning champion, literally in this case, with Max Verstappen bouncing across the last couple of corners. Synth?
Oh, yeah. Reigning champion. I like this one. But yeah, one now. Many lockups still. This is going to be first lap, so it's going to be a bit of a trying to find limits. Well, we know he's always immediately onto the limits. He finds the one. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Twitched it. That was coming from a while back. And it
looks like there's a big puddle at the curve.
Yeah, and I think that's what was causing half the yellows as well. It's just that little flick between the left. And a lot of problems for Verstappen. And he's taking a lot of the curbs. That's not what you do in these conditions. You stay off the white lines of the curbs because they just spin the tyres up in these conditions. They've got no grip.
Unless it's such a big curb. Oh, because that kind of helps you turn the car, and
Yeah.
that's really what we saw Lando Norris do as well. And especially in the final chicane, we saw a few cars bouncing over the curb there.
Yeah, Norris, as you said, was one of them who bounced over that chicane. We saw the onboard cameras. I think Stroll was the other. As Verstappen sliding, got hooked on that curb as well. Big oversteer moment coming in as well. As he turns in, gets to the power of the car, back at the end, slips out again. And this is a bit...
He's ready to risk it all, it looks like.
Oh, a lot on the brakes there into the hairpin. What's he like on the acceleration? Kicks up again as soon as you hit the spray in the puddles. There's another car ahead of him. Schumacher, you can see the wash sort of still on the track and the spray in the air. Russell's gone 9th, but Alonso is the biggest surprise, second fastest. 1:36.074, right up there with Sainz's time. So good time there from the Alpine. And Verstappen said, no, that's it, I've run enough. He's come straight back into the pit lane after one little run.
And those Alpines have been fast already yesterday as well. So I think they have a good chance of getting a good result today as well. And also the Aston Martins also looked really quick on this track.
Here's a look again at turn 1. So he turns in okay, but it's at the exit that the back steps out as soon as he hits the accelerator and he catches it mid-corner. Look, you're right, he hits that puddle, Synthel, that you're on about on the inside. Here's a better look of it.
Yeah, can we see it on the right-hand side?
Just below the wheel. Come on. Yeah, there you go.
It's so wet down there. So they should try to maybe drive around it or something. And here we can see him also overtaking the curb probably.
Last corner,
This is probably starting his lap.
Bigger wheels, of course, this year for the wet. So instead of 60 litres of water, they now displace 80 litres of water per second in terms of spray for the full wet tyres. The intermediates that did 40 litres now do 50 litres of water. That's because they've gone up from being 13 to 18-inch wheels as well. So that's the difference as well. There you see Charles Leclerc. Further power unit changes. He used 5 of the 8 exhausts, but he's used 3 control electronics, 4 MGUK, 4 MGUH, 4 turbochargers as well. As there now is Sebastian Vettel with a helmet quite similar to that of Lance Stroll, just to make life a bit harder for us commentators.
Yeah, I'll look at the camera always. It's a lot easier, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just look at the yellow
That's
camera
what I've
at the
been
top,
doing,
and you know it's Vettel.
That's what I've been doing since you taught me the trick, yeah. Looking
Yeah.
up. As I
suppose many people don't know that, but it's really easy to, find out which driver is who.
Yeah, Aston, if it's a green, it's if it's yellow at the top, it's Vettel. If it's black, it's Stroll. Hamilton, same, yellow, high vis as well. Hamilton actually now been highlighted. Yeah.
Usually it's the yellow camera is the second driver and the black camera is the first driver, but for now, not really with Hamilton especially. I think he should be the first driver, right?
Yes.
At least at the beginning of the season, it looked like he was going to be the first driver.
And now, of course, it's that of Russell into the points. Gwenwyn asks, here's a question. Who causes a yellow or red first, Lance or Nicholas? Oh, well, they both did it in Australia, didn't they, in that qualifying session, as Vettel goes fastest, 1:35.821. Who are you going to call then, Synthel? Who causes the first red flag, Lance Stroll or Nicholas Latifi?
I think Latifi. I think Stroll is not doing that bad of a job. I think he's always pretty good in the rain. We saw his first pole
in the wet, yeah, Turkey, yeah.
So, slide there for Lewis. Has he made a corner?
Camera cut away at the worst time. There's to Vettel at the hairpin. Yes, he has. He's continued on, so he has made the corner.
Yeah, a big twitch there on the entry of turn 1. But yeah, I'm going to say Latifi. I feel like Latifi just... If you saw that crash in Saudi Arabia in the rain,
yeah,
no control over his car. Everyone could have saved that, right? It was such a violent counter steer. It wasn't such a confusing crash.
Stroll goes 5th, 1:36.710, and I reckon it would be Stroll to crash first. You said Latifi as well, but I'll go the opposite. I think it'll be Lance. He caused the red flag in the last wet quali we had, which was in Imola, wasn't it? Go on.
Alonso is on the Inters, isn't he? It says it's on the Inters.
And Sainz. Yeah.
Sainz is in the pits, but...
Oh, Vettel's taking a lot of abrasion there as he's fastest in the second sector. Is he going to improve the lap time? 1:35.821 to beat. No, 49 thousandths down. But you're right. Sainz and Alonso have got onto the intermediate compound tyre. Ted's in the pit lane as well.
Yeah. Mercedes are just coming back to the garage. So for them, and actually for everybody, it's just understanding which tyre is going to be the best at which moment. So we saw, didn't we, in Monaco, you start with a full wet, wait for it to wear down. Is that the best time that's going to work around here? Is it better to have a fresh set of intermediates? I haven't seen anyone pass me with the green-walled intermediate tyres on. Have you seen any on your app?
We've actually got Carlos and Fernando now out on inters, I believe.
Okay, yeah, so that's what all this is about now, is understanding what it's going to mean with the wear of the full wets or with the tyre temperature of the intermediates, what's going to be best for what kind of conditions. Alex Albon at Williams was actually strangely saying that the car has got worse as the tyres warm up. When he was expecting it to get quicker and better, he's been losing grip, and he thinks that's potentially because it's raining a little bit harder wherever he was reporting from on track. I must say it's the same kind of rain as when I last told you, Rach. Nothing's really changed. It's just, properly raining, but not any worse, or rather any better than it was before. So, yeah, let's see what the Alpine can do on this lap.
That could be tyre pressure related, Ted, couldn't it, with Alex Albon, because we've got this balancing act of pressure and temperature, and often if on a run on the wet tyres, when you expected the temperature to come up and build up, but the grip goes away, it sometimes means that your tyre pressure targets aren't quite right, and the tyre basically sort of balloons up, and you lose some of that contact patch.
Definitely, could be lots of things. There could be the wind as well. The wind has picked up. That's one thing that has changed in the last sort of 5-10 minutes or something. It's now very, very breezy. As Sebastian Vettel in his environmental protest against Canada's tar sands helmet goes past me on the intermediate tyres and looks quite quick going into turn one. It is very blowy around here, so some drivers might be reporting less grip because of that as well. Let's follow Seb's. I'm sure you'll pick up Seb's lap after his out lap.
Thanks, Ted. We're on with Fernando at the moment. He's out on track. He's on those.
Yep, as we come through, there's Fernando on the inters. What do you reckon then, Synth? It's a bit of a twitch, isn't it, at the moment?
It looks so wet still. It doesn't look like it's changed really from the beginning of the session, but apparently they feel like it is. Onto the intermediates for Alonso, Vettel now as well. I'm not sure why it said Sainz was on the inters. He wasn't even out on track. He now is, and now it doesn't say he's on the tyres, but I'm sure he'll be on the inters then as well.
Yeah,
I guess.
Alonso definitely out there because we can see he's on the inters as I nearly fall over my own feet. He's 2 seconds off the pace. I don't reckon the track's ready yet for inters as well, unless Alonso is needing more time.
Maybe still needs to get his tyres up to temperature. Obviously, you always see the wets as well, that in the first laps they're a lot slower, but you just keep improving every lap. Maybe the inters need that as well for now.
Looking incredibly strong then at the moment. It's 15 minutes to go in the final practice session. Magnussen's gone off at turn 10 at the hairpin, apparently off track and continued. So don't know how he's done that. Here he is now coming into the chicane, but unusual to have that type of accident. It's jumping the curbs as well. He was almost in the wall. In fact, he had to stop accelerating because he hit the curb with such velocity, it nearly spun him around. A bit like Villeneuve.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of risk, a lot of curbs here in the rain now. It helps turn the car, but it's obviously a lot more tricky to control.
Magnussen did actually set a quicker time, 1:36.7.19, despite going off the track, and that was literally on that last lap. Car 20 Magnussen off track at turn 10 and continued. So, a zero clue how that's happened. Here comes Sainz squabbling out the last corner towards the line. And,
on the inters as well.
And he's starting a lap, not ending it, because here in Canada, if you're finishing a lap, you keep to the right-hand side of the track. If you're starting it, you come to the left, so you get more of a straight line across into turn 1. Synth.
Yeah, that was the answer. Fastest sector 2 for Alonso.
He's top. 1:34.836 for Fernando Alonso. He is faster on those inters.
Here you go then. We just saw Verstappen exit the pit on the wets, but the inters are fast enough now. Will that be for the quali as well? Maybe it won't stop raining, right? So the track will be wetter again.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to start on the wets. But when is crossover point to the Inters.
Well,
And
this
Poconi
is-
could maybe make an interesting thing as well.
This is taken until This is taken technically until the end of qualifying 2, wasn't it? 46 minutes into the hour. So Q2 ending could see Inters being the risk tyre as well. That's another big slide for Carlos. He's really pushing it. Ferrari need him up there this weekend. They need him to try and win the race. Magnussen's gone second. Do you reckon Sainz is up to it? He could take the win here this weekend, or is it Red Bull's to lose?
Yeah, no, I don't think Sainz will get it. You know, I think Red Bull is quicker now. I think with it looks like they've been quicker all weekend, and especially with Sainz, I don't think Sainz really has. This car is not really working for him. I think how it wanted to be. He's been slower than his teammate all year, and I think especially to the Red Bulls he'll lose out as well.
Here comes Fernando jumping through the last chicane. White flag because Norris is slow ahead of him. Alonso's going to take another run at this, so he might not be quicker. Oh, he's 0.6 faster, but with a slow third final. 1:34.229. So Alonso's 1.3 seconds faster. Now still 1.3. As Stroll goes second. And this is Sainz. That nearly made me jump with his little... just got his wrong angle. Wrong time. He had that jump coming out of the last couple of corners out there as well. That caused all the problems. As I think we're glitching a little bit there. So, we've lost internet connection. So that's not grand at all. Bear with us while they try and reconnect you as well up here in the cos box. I think you're still actually seeing us. It's just that it's not connecting all that well.
I'm drifting for Sainz, so now I'm not seeing the replays. But yeah, I'm not. Do you think Sainz will win a race this year?
This year, yes. This one, no. I think that's a fair thing to say at the moment.
It's a long season, but it's he's really not. Oh, Verstappen.
What's happened to Max? I can't see.
Again, the same turn 8-9, massively sliding it over the curbs like he did last time as well. So we'll see a replay of that soon.
Our internet keeps dropping in and out at the moment, so apologies if we do suffer a little bit. So far, it's saying we're okay. I've just had a look on board now. I can see Max coming into the braking zone. Yeah, and a big twitch as well, sliding it round, jumps over the curb. And Gasly off track and continued down at turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1 is a tricky one. It really is. There's a bit of turning as well when you go into there, so it's really easy to lock up. And yeah, we've seen it a lot already.
As more cars coming into the pit lane. Can't see who just came in actually off my
just now.
Okay, there you go. So
still no left for him, just like Perez and Leclerc.
Who's out there on Inters? Alonso, Sainz, Vettel, Gasly, Bottas. So Inter's starting to take over as the main form now. Has it gone through?
Ricardo as well now.
Yep, now throwing another brand new set.
So now we'll just show the replay.
Yeah, important to get out there and just really go for it straight away with these tyres and make sure you understand what's happening with it. As we're having a horrible internet lag at the moment. The network's gone down due to weather here in the UK itself. So it's going red, yellow, amber in terms of streaming, but we are still, I think, staying live. So apologies if we're a bit grainy in voices. It's a technical fault that we can't fix because there's nothing to fix as well. So apologies for the network errors as they come through out here. Replay, I think we're just seeing
the moment from Verstappen was crazy.
Jumped it over. How did he not hit the wall? It continues to amaze me every single race.
But it doesn't gain you time either.
Yeah, we've got a radio and it's a long one from Danny Ricciardo. Let's listen to it.
Daniel, suggest to box to try the Inter. Suggest box this lap.
Understood.
Box now, box now.
Yeah, box confirmed.
Silver entry 9. Silver entry 9.
Silver entry 9.
Now or after the pit stop?
Before the stop.
Okay, Nicky. We're thinking to pit, last stop onto an Inter as the quicker tyre. That will give you 4 time lap on Inter.
Copy. Boxing.
That's Latifi now, who has... Sorry, yeah, Latifi's gone on to intermediates too, Synth.
Yeah, so we're looking at Gasly locking up turn 1 now, but it's gone pretty busy on track now.
This is a replay of Verstappen. We're watching the main TV pictures now with his slide through turn 8 as well, just drifting it and getting launched over a little bit, and did well to control at the exit. You were right, as the cars continue to circulate, and hopefully going to remain quite close out there as Hamilton's left. 8 minutes and 35 seconds left, and this is Vettel into the last corner as Vettel... Yeah, this was a few minutes ago we're watching now, so Sky's TV pictures are 2 minutes behind as we see Vettel cross the line and do a 1:33.891 to go faster on those intermediate compound tyres. Back to live pictures now, please, Sky. There we go. Here we go. Back with Daniel Ricciardo at the back, and this is Alonso again, looking strong in the first 2 sectors, Synth.
So, Sebastian, just come in gently into the pit entry. Don't use the brakes. I want to just cool the brakes a bit.
That was deafening. Over to you, Synth.
Don't use the brakes in the pit lane. That's going to be tricky. Yeah, improvement. Goes faster. 55 thousandths of a second faster than Vettel. Ricciardo goes 4th. Lots of times coming in now on the intermediates. And they're all improving by a lot.
And Alonso fastest overall then, which is good. A 1:33.836 is exactly what we needed to see. Zach Brown watching on and hoping that he's made the right choice. He was at Le Mans 2 weeks ago. Then a week before that, he was at Indianapolis. It's the first race he's been to since the Spanish Grand Prix as well. As they come through. Apparently we're freezing up here, so apologies for this as well. Go on, Sid.
Okay, the brake temperature split has recovered now. You're clear behind if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, as there's still a lot of issues I think happening at the moment. We're struggling with our data connection up here, as it just keeps flashing on and off. So we might not be broadcasting. We might be broadcasting for the last 6 minutes as well. But I think the internet's really bad outside the commentary box, so we'll do our best to see why. But it's dropping frames due to network. So yellow flags.
70 cars on track. 17, not 70, 17 cars on track.
Yeah.
Check the one, someone gone off in turn 1 probably is Magnussen.
It's Kevin Magnussen's off, and he's into the wall as well. He hasn't he hasn't taken off any of the suspension, but he's off. He's gone sideways now. If he can get reverse, he might just get out of that because he's gone in sideways.
He spun it. I thought he maybe just retired it. Oh, look at that.
And push the right button. We want to test the iFuel start at the end, so we'll box now if you are happy.
He's found reverse.
No, I need one more lap.
Watch out.
Don't block the track. You're not allowed to reverse on a live race track, and he's just about keeping it. Now, if he stalled it, he's right in the middle. Where's the virtual safety car? As the McLaren going through. This needs to be red flag. I think it probably will be. Because, he's got it going. Thank God for that.
Yeah. I'm going to say something crazy. Maybe he's gone on straight on, and then when he tried to get back on the track, he locked up. No idea what happened.
Yeah, that was a close one.
It's a weird place to be.
That was a close one as well. So we've switched over now to... apparently our camera's not working, but you can still hear us. So we've switched over now. Let's go down to Ted.
Actually, that's worked really well for... concerned looks. It's worked very well for Daniel Ricciardo. P5 at the moment. Lando Norris, here you go.
So Magnussen has managed.
Let's have a look at what happened to Kevin.
Did it happen? Yeah, it has.
Straight across.
Straight across, weird.
He's gone the wrong way.
Exactly what I said.
Couldn't get it stopped, could he? He did the right thing, to be fair. But it just wouldn't slow down.
Oh, what happened there?
Maybe he had a...
Power failure, brakes, maybe, Synth?
His front left just wouldn't stop.
Maybe some sort of brake issues. George Russell got away with it. I wonder if he had some sort of...
Russell avoided hitting the wall as well. Thought we were going to head to Ted there, and they've sort of taken away from him as well. So we'll keep an eye out for him. Oh, Sainz straight on at turn 4. So Sainz brought out the yellow.
Well, if you don't see that often.
Yeah, this...
And
Max too.
Yeah.
Oh,
and another yellow.
It's getting... Yeah, another yellow now. Sector 3.
That was a short one.
Yeah, don't know who it was. It's getting a bit worse out there, isn't it? It's like the weather's actually coming down harder now, this wet weather. Let's hear from K-Mag.
Oh, what happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. He just locked up in the left front, and he just wouldn't start rolling. And then he just, like I said, I thought he already did that. When he went back on the track, he was locked up. He did. But there was no point where he didn't lock up after he went into turn 1. Quite a crazy moment there. Luckily, he didn't hit the wall.
Yeah.
Did manage to slow down on the grass.
Our comcam has failed up here in the comms box, by the way, and it's causing an encoder and network lag, so we're stuck on this screen. So myself and Synthel are now voicing everything as well, but at least you've got the main info. As Perez having loads of snaps of oversteer as well, since it's getting a bit dangerous, in my opinion, to maybe even continue.
I mean, for the Inters, yes, but they should just then go pit to the wets. Another yellow. Yeah, it's crazy. Going Joe now off.
It's Joe, I believe. It's gone green now. Latifi. It's getting dangerous, he says. Every corner, it's almost like you're fighting to survive. It's a Red Bull. It's Verstappen.
Is it? No, I think
Gasly off track and continue turn 1, but Verstappen has stopped now. Turn 1,
yellow.
So, Verstappen's off.
Oh, there he goes.
And Verstappen is off in the same place as Magnussen. So, Max off now in the grass as well. And back down to Ted.
A bit more. Not much, but a little bit more.
He's got in reverse,
Intensity 4, Rachel. Intensity 4.
Thank you very much, Ted. But we've got a similar situation with...
So it is getting heavier out there as Verstappen kicks up the rear wheels and gets going again, Synth, but that was a bit much as the yellows now get retrieved. He did the same thing as K-Mag.
Yeah, surely he did. So we're going to see a replay of that soon. It's just some more aquaplaning or something in turn 1. I mean, it's not really... He just locked up. Look at the front left probably again.
He's on the Inters.
No, it's something else. He just spun it probably. Yeah, there he goes. Oh,
360. Wow.
On the puddle.
Yeah, 360 on the puddle.
Yeah, you can see it. A bit too much to the right. Yeah, and it goes from you quickly nowhere. Nothing he could have done.
No, right? It was that puddle you were talking about earlier on in the commentary as well, that he hit it on the inside at turn 2 and just spat him around as quick as possible. As well, I've never seen that before. And there's Charles Leclerc getting some more work done as they'll now switch it all over to the stuff they're changing ahead of qualifying. Charles Leclerc will start the race from the back of the grid as well. And our comcams have failed up here in the box, by the way, so apologies if we're not bringing you our faces at the moment, but I'm sure this will do. And apologies if we're glitching in and out. It's a network error, we're being told as well. And we can't seem to fix it, so presumably there's something on the line. So we'll double check going into the next session for qualifying, of course. I
can't wait for qualifying.
Oh, it's going to be the best of the season, I reckon. This is going to be something else insane.
So the first actual spin, I think, of the weekend so far.
Yeah, and it comes from Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
So Verstappen, it might be a little bit of a wahey for the teams. Practice starts, by the way, I think have been cancelled due to the weather. So we'll double check if they're going to do this on the grid, though.
I don't think anyone would do a practice starts in the wet anyways.
No point. Well, it'll be a safety car start anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, they won't even start. The race is dry.
Yeah. Across the line then. Ocon third as things stand as well. With less than 30 seconds to go of this practice session. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. Drama beyond belief. As the rain now level intensity 4. And it could get to 5 when we get to qualifying.
It's so sketchy.
That's Joe saying it's sketchy out there on the circuit as well. Checkered flag is out. The session is over. Ricciardo's going to complete his lap time. In fact, they're all looking like they're setting some faster times. Ocon's fastest in the first sector, 26.740.
Yeah, they're all really pushing now for their final, I guess, practice runs for qualifying. It's really busy on track now. It's been pretty calm all session, and now towards the end they're all heading out.
Norris has jumped to 5th position as things stand. Here comes Max Verstappen across the line, 18th to 7th, 134.616. I'm keeping an eye on Ocon. Where is he? Ocon is coming down the back straight away. Here he is now. So this is looking good, and it's getting heavier, by the way, the wet weather. So this is ahead of qualifying in a couple of hours.
You'll take the checkered flag, but you can keep pushing. We'll stay out to do a start on the grid.
So they are doing practice starts.
But why?
No
I mean,
idea.
it's raining.
Cross the line, flag goes out. And Ocon, does he go fastest? Only third. 134.003. Looked hard in that last sector. Grand win, I'm going to say neither Perez or Leclerc will cause the red flag. Interesting on that one. Apologies, by the way, for the network.
Leclerc?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, Perez and Leclerc causing the red flag. One of the two.
Oh. Will Leclerc even go drive for... Oh, Gasly goes second.
Gasly, wow. 133.889. But it's Fernando Alonso who tops free practice 3.
Do you think Leclerc will even drive for qualifying?
Maybe to give Sainz a tow, but I don't think he would. There'd be no point. It's wet weather.
In the rain, a tow doesn't really work, I think. But yeah, maybe Q1. So it's maybe just to test everything a little bit. But I suppose they won't really do anything for qualifying. I think they will do Q1.
I think they'll do Q1 and then back off as well as they come through. Yeah, that's the situation I see it as too. As hopefully you can still hear us. I know that's not had a problem, it's just the visuals. That's why we're not on the camera. Otherwise I'll be glitching everywhere. But Fernando Alonso has topped the session from Gasly second, Vettel third, Ocon fourth, Ricciardo completes the top 5, Norris is 6th, Russell 7th, Perez 8th, Verstappen 9th, and Sainz the top 10. After that, it's Bottas 11th, Zhou 12th, Stroll 13th, Magnussen 14th, Hamilton 15th, Albon 16th, Tsunoda 17th, Schumacher 18th, Latifi 19th, and Leclerc in 20th as well, not setting an actual lap time during the session as the rain synth gets a lot heavier now in the pits.
And you're P3 at the moment. That's P3.
Look at it, it's really bad now, isn't it?
That's incredible.
Daniel, in these conditions, are you comfortable to do the launch from the grid? Are you comfortable?
The sound is a bit glitchy on the stream.
Sorry about that if the sound is glitchy on there. Go on, Synth.
Sometimes it's a bit, it just breaks up the sound. But yeah, it's really getting wet now. Let's hope it won't be too bad for qualifying. I mean, it should stop around there, right? So we'll have at least some running, but maybe with a bit of delay.
I've brought Megan in because it wouldn't be right for Fernando to top a practice session without hearing from Megan. Megan, Fernando Alonso's topped the session on the Inters. 133.836. What do you think of that?
I'm very, very, very happy. Also surprised that everyone else seems to be doing not as good today.
Well, it's the weather, isn't it? It's wet rain.
See, he dominates in the wet.
Do you reckon he could have pole, or is that a fluke?
Hopefully.
If he has pole, are you going to run back to the box to talk about it?
Maybe, maybe not. Though, there is curry waiting for you.
Oh, curry's ready. Lovely. That's
and loads of garlic bread because I'm only having 3 pieces.
Well, that'll be in a couple of minutes.
Because I'm full from eating
salmon. Tell you what, Megs, just for you, you can call it as we look at results.
First is Fernando Alonso, second Pierre Gasly, and third is Sebastian Vettel.
Fernando Alonso's fastest. There you go, Megs. I know, well done.
Now you continue calling it.
Thanks, Megs. Bye-bye. Sin's still with me. I could not bring her in because I texted her to run because Alonso's topping. Gasly second, Vettel third, Ocon, Ricciardo top 5. What was your moment of the session then, Synth? It was a crazy hour of practice, that, as we go into qualifying in 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a good sign for quali for sure. It's just a little bit of it's a pre-show of qualifying maybe. Yeah. It's going to be very crazy for sure. And they did all right. They did very good to keep it out of the wall. But when you're going to push to the absolute limit in qualifying later on, we might see some different, some red flags maybe.
It's going to be a great one. My thanks to you, Cynthia, for joining me. And my thanks to all of you at home as well for putting up with the internet error there as well. We'll be back for qualifying at 8:45 UK time. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.